Hey guys, welcome to another English commentary done by Diggity. This is going to be the first set between Samsung Khan and SKT1, Gorush versus Jangbi, so pretty big matchup. Let me get two things out of the way really fast. Go check out JWD, new SC2GG writer. Also been with us since the start. He's doing some fantastic articles. Go check him out. I'm probably going to plagiarize from them directly in this matchup. And also, speaking of which, looks like Gorush is starting in the bottom left-hand corner, I should say, in yellow upper hand corner we have Jangbi and Teal. And also really fast, shout out to Terrakins and everybody who's listening in Jamaica. Apparently we have a hardcore listening contingent there, and I don't know why that gives me the warm fuzzies. It just really does. That just makes me feel really good, which is actually probably why I'm doing this commentary, because that just put me in a really good mood. So you have them to thank specifically for this commentary. I don't know if I would have done it otherwise, but that really just hyped me up. Anyway, let me get to the so special shout out once again, to all the Jamaica contingent and Terrakins in particular. So anyway, this is going to be between Gorush and Jangbi. Both players actually at a pretty high caliber. Looks like Jangbi setting up for that standard Bisu build. Gorush, he's been in the MSL, he's got an MSL championship, and he's hung around the MSL for a while now. I don't think he's in this upcoming MSL, actually. It's the first one he hasn't been in a while. T1 fighting! That mascot freaks me out, by the way. I'm not sure. I think it's the only team with the mascot thus far. He's just kind of freaky and weird, just hanging out by this... maybe they ask like the new guys who are coming in to do that. I don't know. Anyway, getting back to the commentary, Gorush though, he's been a really good player for a long time, but has just generally been on the decline. If you recall, he's the player that just kept beating Savior, Z versus Z, and then eventually Savior went Terran against him and ended up getting beaten. Looks like we're seeing a 12 pool build, but putting down gas simultaneously. Going to go for speed zerglings. This has been a pretty standard build from zerg players. Jangbi putting down that forge for that Bisu build in kind of an odd position, actually. I'm surprised by that. It's usually you'll see it back closer to the choke to make sure that zerglings can't run through, and that might end up costing him later. What that really suggests to me that he might be thinking about putting some gateways down the line as opposed to going Dark Templar. We'll see, because it looks more like a troop movement flow thing to me. So I don't know. Maybe I'm reading too much into that. We'll see though. But yeah, that's just at a different position than I'm used to seeing it. Anyway, or maybe I'm just on crack. Who knows? Anyway, but looks like we're going to see some speed zerglings from Gorush. Maybe try to, it looks like what he's going to do is he's just going to try to kill that scout. This is a pretty standard tactic for Zerg versus Protoss these days on Blue Storm. Now that it's a little bit more of established of the map, is you get rid of that early scout and then you go from there. And as soon as you get rid of that scout, you don't have to worry about anything until the Corsairs come out. Sometimes you can do those 2 Hydralisk push, things like that. That's been kind of the popular thing to do, is actually do 3 or 4 hatch Hydralisks or things like that. And we'll see. Looks like the Zerglings are going to push out. They're going to go after that secondary. Yeah, just going to put some pressure on Jangbi straight off while putting down that second. Yeah, and cleverly it looks like... See, that's Jangbi, though, playing on a fantastic level as well. He's really on the rise, whereas Gorush at times has been kind of on the decline. We'll see if these cannons are going to make it up in time. As you can see, the Zerglings already coming in, a gateway going down, wow, at the block positions. A couple probes coming off the line, which is going to be necessary for that second cannon to go up and also to fight these Zerglings off. Zerglings are being sent in retreat, interestingly enough. It looks like they're going to come back and try to take care of that probe. Maybe, so it looks like just kind of a fake maneuver. We'll see if that actually, I don't think that second cannon's going to be cancelled, but it might be, I don't know. And I think what he was doing is actually in the blind. He was hoping to kind of force those cannons before the Nexus. Didn't end up happening, though. So Jangbi actually... pretty standard build, getting that Nexus up faster than I think, and that might cost Gorush, because I think he was thinking that he was going to force down an early Nexus on that build, and it didn't end up happening. Looks like the gas in the main's already down for Jangbi. It looks like he's setting up. Interesting enough, yeah. So he's going to go for a 3 hatchery build. The question is what type of 3 hatchery build is he going to start? And we'll be able to see if he starts going after gas here in just a moment, whether he puts down a second gas or a 4th hatchery, obviously. Anyway, it looks like that probe still not killed the back of the base. Jangbi finally loses that probe in the back. Did an excellent job of keeping it alive against speed for a good long time there. But in the meantime, his economy is in full swing, not missing a beat, teching straight to lair. Wow, quick tech to lair there. Did he have enough gas for that even? It was like he wasn't harvesting gas that entire time. Now all of a sudden he is an immediate tech to lair. So maybe grabbing additional gas as alongside those speedlings. I'm surprised though that he was able to tech that quickly. Almost feels like a time warp there to me. And anyway, in the meantime, a cybernetic score going to the backfield, as you can see with Jangbi. So Jangbi, it looks like he's going to go for that standard Bisu build. He is in the dark until that Corsair comes out, unless he can somehow get another probe scout out in the field. As you can see, that probe scout coming down now. But Jangbi, but Gorush realizing that, pulling that, the Overlord, I assume, spotted it. So he's going to have those Zerglings in position here, and we'll see if he can additionally take that out. Still a couple zealots and probes near that front line. And this is key. I I think in another match I just did between Hune and who was it? It was Hune and Much. This is where Hune, I really think, ended up kind of getting hit. Is he didn't send that Overlord, that sacrificial Overlord, into the back base to make sure that that tech, what tech his opponent was going. And as you can see, we do see the Stargate and a Spire from Gorush. And I was actually kind of thinking once I saw that third hatchery down that we're gonna see a Spire. This surprises me. So we'll see if Jangbi kind of senses this, if he gets a second Stargate down or upgrades that weapons 1. Spire has not typically been very strong for Protoss players. Looks like he's getting a Citadel of Adun down though, so it looks like he's going to go for more the Dark Templar Corsair combination, sending the Zealots down now, getting weapons 1. It looks like alongside that, also putting down a second gas. But really, Mutalisks have not been successful. Jangbi somehow managed to get the scout. He needs this is so important. Gorush needs to make sure that the Probe does not sneak around, does not see that Spire. If it does, he's going to be well prepared for it. That could be absolutely disastrous. And it looks like he is in fact going to be able to spot that Spire out. So either going to get cannons in the backside of his base, might switch, get 2 Stargates down instead of continuing with the Citadel, and now the Zealots pushing in as well. 4th hatchery down. It looks like Gorush is actually thinking about switching to Hydralisks now. I think he realizes now that it's spotted off that Jangbi is going to have an easy time pushing that off. And Jangbi looks like he might be able to get some economic damage in here. A couple of those Zealots pushing in. Doesn't look like they've got any drone kills. And wow, Gorush doing a fantastic job inflicting damage there. As you can see, he hasn't lost a single drone. Now pushing up, finally he loses a drone. But those 3 Zealots for just a single drone, not really worth it. And now, unfortunately, there is no defense against that initial Corsair pushing in. So Jangbi just a little bit ahead. Now, as you can see, getting that second Stargate down to deal with those Mutalisks. Also getting that level 1 weapons, but that 4th hatchery is down. We'll see if we'll see a Hydralisk in just a moment. And there's that initial, and I don't know if we're going to see Scourge produced here, or maybe Mutalisks here to again, just to get rid of that initial Corsair, and then we're going to see a switch, another hatchery going down. So 5 hatchery build. He's just trying to hide this from Jangbi. Jangbi is going to pull off. He's not getting that, this is key, he's not getting that spot with that Corsair, and right now what Gorush is doing, he's trying to switch tech. He knows he can't really win in the air, but as long as Jangbi is committing air, and he switches tech to Hydralisk, he's going to be okay in the long run. I don't see a Hydralisk 10 down yet, and honestly, with just those 2, just with the 2 gas, he's not going to be able to win against the Mules. He needs to get that den down. I'm surprised. Well, I'm not quite understanding why he's waiting for those cannons to go up in the backfield, just to make sure he's not end up, as you can see, those 3 cannons in the backfield. So as you can see, Jangbi's expecting a Mutalisk attack, and as soon as it doesn't come, he's going to be like kind of confused here, and I'm kind of confused that we're not seeing I really don't like that view. It's so distracting. A couple Sunken colonies going down in the backfield, maybe Spore colonies. I don't see an evolution chamber down in the background. No, it does look like it's going to be Sunken colonies to deal with the Zealots down. In the meantime, there are some Mutalisks being produced, but honestly, just off of 2 gas, I don't think out of 5 hatcheries you can produce all that many Mutalisks. I mean, 5 hatchery Mutalisk push, I mean, that's a big, huge dedication. Even with that, I think Jangbi would be able to fight off. I would be very surprised to not see a Mutalisk then, or some sort of switch of tech. Maybe we'll see a zerg, like a quick push with Mutalisks, and now as you can see, Gorush going into that backfield. The Mutalisk going to push off, and that's going to send that pushing back. Gorush is very proficient with Mutalisks. He's definitely from the era of kind of the July Zerg heavy Mutalisk harass, and kind of really timing that well. No, it looks like he's going to stick. I was surprised. I was kind of expecting kind of a switch to Zerglings here. I guess getting down those additional hatcheries. As you can see, he spotted out the bottom right hand corner in the 6 o'clock position as well with either Zerglings or Overlords. But I just don't think he can win this with Mutalisks alone, not against the Corsairs out in the field. He has been, wow, producing a ton. And there's the Hydralisk den finally. Surprised that's still so late. So I guess he's just pushing up, making sure that Jangbi sees the spot, sees essentially that the Mutalisks are out there, trying to convince Jangbi that he is going Mutalisks. And now, as you can see, the Zealots pushing down with the weapons 1, and we'll see if these Zerglings and that Sunken colony will be enough to deal with it. And now pushing up, as you can see, he's just going to try to take out that Corsair count while he's transitioning into Hydralisks here in that backfield. We saw just Jadong do this before, where he just screened, and he unfortunately screwed that up a little bit. He wanted to screen with those. Jangbi, in the meantime, it looks like he's in the backside base, but as you can see, his main getting kind of worked over. Worried a little bit. Now he's gathered up those Corsairs. We'll see what Gorush can do with this. He has managed to do a little bit of disruption as far as the production's going, and now it looks like that 3rd expansion. Man, that 3rd expansion getting raked over by these Zealots. That's what level 1 weapons can do for you. And Gorush, in the meantime, distracted. He has to dedicate so much micromanagement with those Mutalisks as opposed to the Corsairs. And now he's seeing those Hydralisks out, so he knows there has been a tech switch now. A Corsair fight going in. Oh man, beautiful screen by Gorush there, allowing a lot of those Corsairs to push in. Actually, maybe not. I'm not seeing as much damage. And Gorush has actually managed to keep all of his Mutalisks alive to this point. And just to say that, losing a Mutalisk right there, it looks like